Bro, what's wrong? I'm hungry. Wait a bit, mom's cooking. Mom, let me do it. Go inside and stay with little sister. Mom went in. Scholar Sue. You should have paid last year's rent by now, right? Uncle Joe, last year's harvest wasn't good. We got less than 5 tons from the field. Paid the taxes. Only a bit over 3 tons left. Just over 3 tons. I remember your family owes 4 tons in rent. The village chief testified. The contract says 30. But it says 40 right here. Scholar Sue, look carefully. Your father's thumbprint is right here. Shameless old thief. Again, you sneaked and changed the contract while my father was seriously ill. I have no food, HMPH. No food? Then pay with something else. Start by taking off this pot. Then go check the inner room for anything valuable. Don't touch my family's things. Little sister. Scholar Sue, a learned man should know how to adapt. Come say it with me. Pay the 4 units of beads within 3 days. Say it and I'll leave. If I fight now, what will happen to mom and little sister? Say 3 days, that's all. Pay 4 units of rent in 3 days. Pay 4 units of rent in 3 days. Scholar Wu, tomorrow's the 3rd day. 4 dough of grain, not 1 grain short. I'll take your house beam as payment. Mom, get up. The Joe family is making a move early. You. Take little sister and go out the back window. Hide in the temple on the back hill for a night. I'm fast. I'll lure them away. Scholar Sue, open the door. This is 100 times clearer than the bronze mirror at the county governor's mansion. Red Ox script. Too easy. This definitely isn't a major move. Running such a huge workshop. The jade pendant stopped glowing. He's the one who brought me here, why? And welcome. What's wrong? Are you okay? I'm fine. Just wanted to take a look. Crystal rocks like snow. You want lighter, 1 yuan. Hey, careful. What exactly are you buying? If you're not buying, don't stay here. Sorry, let me take a look. Welcome. If I could bring these silver salt guns back, I could pay off Joe Duang's 40 units. Firing style signal. 12 hours are up. Salted steel needles, seeds, these are trash in modern times. But in the Great Dynasty, they're priceless. Bro, where did you go? I was so scared you wouldn't come back. Brother is back. Can't hear anymore. Can still hear a bit. Mom, look what this is. What is this thing? Firestarter, Mom. Guess how much this can sell for? Aren't you going to ask where this came from, Mom? Mom just asks one thing. Will you still leave? Drink it while it's hot. Bro, look, I dug up so much. I have to quickly turn this immortal fire into cash. Why is Scholar Sue here? Borrow grain, I'm here to sell something. You walked 10 miles to sell a fire starter. Fire starters can be found at any random general store. You've studied yourself, silly. This can't possibly be a fire starter. Name your price. Manager Zheng, how much do you think it's worth? 1 tael.
Hey.
Scholar Sue, if you think it's too low, we can negotiate. Everybody, this is Su Ji. Scholar Sue. He has some items to amaze you all. This mirror is 100 times clearer than the glass mirrors in the capital.
How much?
Young brother, let me ask, where did you get these things? Passed down from ancestors. Which generation of your ancestors? Your father or your grandfather? When young, he worked odd jobs for wealthy families in the capital. He saw a lot of the world. After retiring, he returned home. He tried making these utensils following capital techniques. He gave them to me before passing away. Young brother, if you want to make it big, here's some advice. Always leave room. Source, leave room. Quantity, leave room. Reputation, leave room too. This is a warning. If the authorities target me, either kneel and become their dog, or get burned at the stake as a demon. You're not pressed for those 4 units of rent. We'll settle it slowly later. Bro, don't go out anymore, okay? Kids in the village throw stones at me. Why? They say bro is a demon. Talks to ghosts by the well at midnight. They say the things you brought back are stolen. Nephew, old uncle will speak directly. People in town can't handle all these goods. But uncle has connections in the city. Let's partner up. 50-50 split. As for partnership with Uncle Joe, I have a condition. I want to move mom and little sister out of Qingyu village. Find a house in town. That's easy. I have 2 empty houses in town. Move right in. Consider it uncle's bonus to you. Zhou Duang's bonus comes at the cost of your life. He treats me now as a golden egg-laying chicken. Once he's squeezed out my value, he'll swallow our whole family in one bite. If one day you leave, and don't come back, you don't have to tell me where you're going. Just give me a heads up. Let me be prepared. so I have time to leave a light for you. There's a Yubo shop on West Street in the county. But the manager has strict rules. No reference, no name card. No deposit, can't even get in. Bro, I picked this up by the well. It glows, take it with you. I want to be like bro and find good things too. Little sister, go to bed early tonight. Stay with mom, I'll be back before dawn. The well wall is covered in writing. Time flows differently. It's late night here in modern times. Boss, do you take these copper coins? Can you check this salt for me? Isn't this just coarse salt? Not even iodized. Supermarkets stopped selling it ages ago. For ancient coins, go to Longfu Temple Antique Market in the north of the city. What kind of medicine can these exchange for? Bro, we don't take ancient coins here. Try to exchange them for cash at a convenience store outside. 12 days before the full moon. This timing wasn't chosen randomly. The cooldown for crossing is 30 days. Every extra item that can be cashed out in the past adds value to every second in the present. Can't repeat last time. Only brought one lighter back. That few taels of silver can't even buy coarse grain for a while. Must bring more types. Better quality. Things that'll make people in the past believe. They're not meant for ordinary men. But I have no modern money. The second crossing has to bring things to sell. But what to sell what isn't valuable in ancient times? Things valuable in ancient times might be worthless in the modern era. Think the opposite way. Things regarded as waste in ancient times could be treasures in the modern era. Your mom wants to grind jade pendants to ward off evil. It's Uncle Lee. Mom hasn't been feeling well lately. Want to grind some jade pendants for her to wear. Do you have any scrap materials you don't need here? Pick whatever you want. These aren't even good enough to pave roads. Uncle Lee, let me treat you to a drink. Hey, no need to be so polite, kid. I embroidered all these when I was young. This peony took me 3 months to finish back then. Now my eyes aren't what they used to be. I can't even thread a needle anymore. Sister, the flowers you embroidered when you were young were the prettiest in these parts. Aunt Wang, my little sister wants to learn embroidery. She wants to see what you look like when you were young. Can I take these home to show my sister? These 2 pieces are still in decent shape. The edges are a bit worn, but the patterns are still intact. Aunt Wang, I'll pay you for these. I'll let my little sister see them. No need to pay. The brown sugar is for you to dissolve in water and drink. Keep the coins. That scholar from the Su family has lost his mind. He spent coins to buy stones. I saw him yesterday carrying a bag of brown sugar, and he headed to Widow Wang's house. Traded for 2 old handkerchiefs. He read too many books and lost his mind. Thinks there are treasures all over the village. Can this stuff really be sold for money? But everyone in the village says you're crazy. I can. Have they said anything else? And Zhao said, "You have enough money now to buy rice and a pot? So why not save it for later? Why do you keep buying these useless things?" And Zhou Duang's been telling everyone, "All that stuff the scholar from the Su family has, no one knows where it came from. So be careful in case he picked up something unclean." While Zhou Duang gives medicine and property to win people over, he's spreading rumors in the village at the same time. That's his two-pronged strategy. If you cooperate with him, he'll be the scholar's great benefactor. If you don't listen, he'll claim he was the first to notice something was wrong, the vigilant local gentry. Once he's set all this up, no matter what happens in the future, he can clear his name. If Zhou Duang says something, don't repeat it when you're outside. If anyone asks about me, just say you don't know. I'll teach my little sister to say she doesn't know. I never mention anything about time travel in front of mother. I tell myself I'm not stealing, I'm surviving. Every single lie is reasonable and justified. Every reason seems perfectly valid. But when you pile up too many lies, they become a mountain. And one day, that mountain will collapse on someone. I hope that someone is me. Not mother. Not my little sister. I found this by the well. See? It glows. Bro, you keep it. Why are you picking up stones by the well again? Because every time you come back from there, you always have something good in your pocket. I want to find something nice, like you do, bro. Little sister, go to bed early tonight. Stay with mom since she's home alone. Where are you going? I'm heading to town. I'll be back before dawn. Okay. This is their signal? Leave a light on for me. What are you here to see? Old Ma at the stall outside told me to come. He said you buy odds and ends here. Where did you get this piece from? My elders left it to me. It's mountain jade from a new mining pit. The texture is rather loose. There are two obvious six-way cracks inside. This horizontal crack has already gone pretty deep. If you carve something from it in the future, it's very likely to crack here. To be honest with you, this piece isn't worth much. These Polish marks weren't made by modern tools. Modern jade carving uses electric tools. The blades spin at high speed, and the cut edges have burn marks. Yours doesn't have cut marks. It's polished by hand, using jade grinding sand, with at least 200 to 300 years of skill. Maybe from the Ming Dynasty, maybe even older. But this kind of mountain jade was still just scrap even back then. It's nothing valuable. How much are you looking to sell this for? Boss son, you name your price. 800. 800 what exactly? I can't ask if it's silver coins. If I ask, I'll give myself away. If a rough piece of jade in Qingnu village, that Li the Mason considered worthless, can sell for 1,200, and I still have 2 more pieces in my bag, plus some old embroidery, and that green stone chip. All these together for 1,200. How much could I get for them in modern times? And how many silver dollars would that buy? Lighters, steel needles, bringing them back to ancient times would be great. If you have more things like this in the future, just bring them straight to me. Don't go through the stalls outside. If stuff from the stalls ends up here, the price won't be as good. Oh no. Last time he saw lighters at the convenience store, priced at $1 each. If one lighter is $1, then his $1,200 could buy 1,200 lighters. Yet, one lighter sells for 3 taels of silver in ancient times. 3 taels times 1,200. That number is too massive. Carrying restrictions. Non-living objects held in one hand. I can only bring back what one hand can hold at a time. Even if I could buy 1,200 lighters, I couldn't bring them all back. Zhen Yongchang isn't afraid of high prices. He's afraid I can't keep up with the supply. This means every 12-hour stay in the modern world requires precise choices. What to bring back, how much to bring, and who to sell to, and at what price. Every variable will affect the profits of the next full moon night, and those profits determine how fast I can accumulate enough capital to leave Qingyu village in the ancient world. The finest Zhuan paper in the Great Zhou dynasty must wait for the ink to dry completely before folding. This paper can be written on directly, folded immediately, and stuffed right into a pocket. Go to the convenience store first. Use the same method to ask the owner where the wholesale market is, how to get there, and what's cheapest. Need information sources. Don't just buy things. Buying things only lasts for 12 hours. An information source lasts a lifetime. It's you again. I want to buy some things and ask for directions while I'm at it. What do you want to buy? Salt and lighters. Steel needles. Steel needles. You mean sewing needles, right? The wholesale market is in the south of the city. It takes over an hour by bus. I have salt and lighters in my shop. No steel needles. Who sews clothes themselves these days? What is a bus? Refined salt is 2.50 a bag. Lighters are $1 each. Biscuits are $2. Water is 1.50. The habit of testing silver in the Great Zhou dynasty is completely meaningless here. Where can I buy steel needles? Supermarkets might have them. A big supermarket, not a small shop like this. Go east along this road for about 2 li. There's a Wan supermarket. They have everything there. If you can't find it, use your phone for navigation. Thanks. What is phone navigation?
Again?
This is Wan supermarket. Salt is 2.50. Steel needles are $3 a pack. Sewing kits are $12 a set. Can't take this much. What 2 hands can hold is the limit. And once these reach the ancient world, they can't all be sold at once. Need to do it in batches. The first batch for quick cash will be sold as soon as I return. The second batch can be sold slowly. Stockpile them and release when there are more customers. The things here are indeed extraordinary. The sun is leaning west. Feel free to look around. Feel free to look around. This formula, when I was building water wheels in the Great Zhou dynasty, I once guessed it based on experience. Old carpenters also knew by experience that a long lever is more efficient than a short one. But no one used 10 words and a single line of logic to summarize it.
How much?
Textbooks are $2 each. Those novels are $5 each. The sweetness is much lighter than the osmanthus cake at Fushan Mansion. But the calories are higher. 1 bite and you can feel your stomach tightening. Over 2 hours left until the 12-hour limit ends. The ruins are too far. Walking back to that abandoned Dharma house takes nearly an hour. Must find a place nearby. Old Dr. Liu, the modern substitute for that bag of bitter medicinal powder. Can this thing be quiet for a while? The first time I crossed, I brought back a lighter. It was only enough to keep my mother from starving. The second time I bring back a shelf of goods. Not enough to topple a dynasty, but enough to knock on the gates of the county seat. Brother. Mom said you were in town. After you left that day, Zhou Duan came again. He stood at the mouth of the alley for a while. He didn't come in. Since that day, No one in the village has thrown stone mortar at our house. Anshao said it's because he showed mercy. No, not throwing them anymore. Zhou Duang also said that what brother earns outside is ill-gotten wealth, and that trouble will come sooner or later. Little sister, brother bought all of these. But these are things that shouldn't exist. They shouldn't exist here. That fire starter, brother bought it from a very far place. There will be more later. Then are we bad people? No. Where is that very far place? Very far. A place you can't reach. And a place others can't reach either. The items that must be liquidated immediately are the refined salt and the lighters. Zhang Yongcheng gave a 5-tailed deposit. His batch of goods can be fulfilled with lighters first. A portion. This old shopkeeper has already become a repeat customer. No need to say more. But for the other portion, I must pursue higher profits. Can't rely solely on the town circles. Without a way into the city, it's the same as being by Zhou Duang, locked on the chessboard of Qingyu village. Zhao Vinyuan, that county clerk with the waste token at the banquet. Even though he was introduced by Zhou Duang,
He might not be of the same mind as him.
he could also be a potential buyer. Or even a partner more valuable than Zheng Yongcheng. But the prerequisite is that he won't swallow me whole after opening the channel. Is the stock ready? Our shopkeeper said he'd pick it up today. Send a bag of ginseng rootlets first. Wild mountain ginseng in the Great Zhou dynasty is something sold by the Cadian pharmacies. The best stock only sells for 10 taels apiece. But in modern times, wild mountain ginseng is a top-tier health product. Some old ginseng with enough years on them can be worth the entire profit of a single crossing. Tell shopkeeper Zheng. The next batch of silver salt will take another month. There are 2 boxes of lighters here. Not selling by the piece this time. Take the whole box for 6 taels. Let him set the price himself when you get back, and see how much he can sell them for. All right. I need someone who understands ginseng. Not Zheng Yongcheng. He only knows silk, not medicinal herbs. And not Zhou Duang. Can't let him know that I'm shifting to more expensive goods. Medicinal herbs in the city? Jia Xingchen's pharmacy next to the county office specializes in mountain goods. Sharp eyes and a sharp tongue. Dian Zhu, that academic official, is skimming the students' paper and ink fees again. He cut 30% last month, and half this month. They can barely afford paper. And there's Yubao Pavilion on the west street of the city. They recently bought a piece of fake jade and lost 40 taels of silver. The shopkeeper was so angry, he hasn't opened for 3 days. The old scholar Zhao of Yubao Pavilion said, "This shop has strict rules. No introduction, no calling card, and no deposit means a complete stranger. You can't even get in the door." Today it's the pharmacy, not Yubao Pavilion. But I'll keep this channel in mind. Arrived. Wild ginseng comes from authentic old forests. Too bad, it's just the root hairs, not the main root. It looks good. The tops are neat too. The age should be around 20 years. Who dug up these root hairs? A relative of mine. He's still in the mountains. Everyone keeps asking the same question. Where does the product come from? This question is getting harder to handle. This small bundle of ginseng root hairs. I'll give you 3 taels. 3 taels is at least 30% higher than his expected price for a single root in Qingnu village. At least 30% higher. 3 taels of silver. You can buy a whole mountain of fine rice in Qingnu village. Enough for his mother and little sister for half a year. And these root hairs are a gift from Zheng Yongcheng. A gift from brother Su Ji. The cost is 0. This favor must be kept in mind. Manager Qin, do you have older wild ginseng with a higher age? All right, I'll take these. Last time at the banquet, he helped me deflect questioning. But he also warned me, leaving room for caution, not to be too high profile under the county office's nose. This person might become a recommender. He might also be the first to uncover the secret. Still haven't decided. So for now, I can't let him know I came to the scene. These wild ginseng roots are for the next crossing, to take back to modern times. Both paths need to be opened. Sell cheap modern goods to the ancient times. Sell the worthless herbs and leftovers from ancient times to the modern era. Only when both routes are open. Is it truly two-way selling? A longer lever arm saves effort. Shorter resistance arm is more tiring. Force multiplied by force arm. Resistance multiplied by resistance arm. From the kill worker's mouth, the kill fires go out. They block the draft based on experience. Textbooks explain it's the exhaustion of yang energy in the air. Same principle? But the way of expression is completely different. If you put physics and chemistry formulas beside this torn manuscript and compare them, it's not just some random made-up sorcery. There's a lineage. Oxygen, hydrogen, leverage, force balance. Press down force to break the surface. Not entirely accurate, but it can save a life. If someone asks you someday how you know all this, just open this book. Say your father saw the complete set in the Capitol. You piece together some of it from memory. It sounds better than an ancestral secret recipe, and it's harder to be questioned.
Hey kid.
Those 2 boxes of lighters last time, guess how much I sold them for? 6 taels a box. Bought them, broke up the set, sell 10 pieces to break even. The rest, 10 pieces, pure profit, 40 pieces total. Sold out, total 20 taels. He's showing off his sales skills. And hinting that next time I should give him a lower purchase price. Any connections for salt? Salt. Smuggling salt is no joke. 10 jin of contraband salt gets you 60 lashes. I'm not selling 10 jin. How much salt does a wealthy family use in a year? 3 or 4 jin. If there's a kind of salt that doesn't require 4 jin, 2 jin is enough for his family for a year. Because it has higher purity, less is needed. How much is that salt worth per jin? 2 taels of silver per jin. And that's a conservative price. But the premise is, you have to make buyers believe the salt won't kill anyone. Just being white isn't enough. There has to be a source. If you can get official salt certificates, even expired or invalid ones, it can sell for half more. This ruin was originally said to remain for now. But now, before it's demolished, I have to find a more stable modern foothold. I don't know how many more months the ruins can hold out. All right. Okay. This wild ginseng is genuine from the old forests of Changbai Mountain. These 2 main roots have great quality. The Lu Tu is intact. The age of the ginseng won't be less than 20 years. This one is a bit younger, but it's also authentic wild stock. Where did you get it from? It was left behind by my elders at home. Three of them break 10,000. 10,000. In ancient times, a few ounces of broken silver could buy them. 3 old mountain ginseng roots. 10,000. Give me a real price. Little bro, you learn fast. These 3 aren't all the same quality. The best one can be sold individually for 5,000. I'll round it for you, 12,000. 13,000. 13,000 it is then. But from now on, any good goods must be shown to me first. All right. Exchange all 16,500 for lighters and refined salt. At least it could generate over 100 taels of pure profit. 50 taels is enough to buy a house with a storefront in the county town. Enough for mom and little sister to completely move out of Qingnu village. How do you sell lighters? A box of 2010 yuan. How many do you want? Convenience store sells them for 1 yuan each. Here it's 50 cents. All of it together costs less than 300 yuan. after 3 times crossing over. I'm almost used to this constant background noise. It's like it's always reminding me. There's a price for entering the passage between two worlds. It's not that the blacksmith's skills are bad. It's that iron smelted the traditional way has too many impurities. The needles made will never compare to modern steel needles. Buying needles. I want to see your needles. What is this? Where did you get this needle? First, tell me how this needle compares to the ones you make. Ten of my needles can't match this one of yours. How many of these needles do you want? How many do you have? How many do you want? My name is Lu Dechui. I'm the blacksmith apprentice in town. First, tell me the real origin of this needle. Is it from the new iron shop in the county town? Number. I'm here to talk business with you. How much do the needles in your shop sell for? 1 wen per needle. I'll give you this needle. How much can you sell it for per needle? A needle like this can be sold for 5 wen each in town. Not just for embroidery, with this hardness. It can sew leather. It can pierce shoe soles. It can do fine work. The seamstresses in rich families would definitely pay that price. I'll give them to you at 3 wen per needle. You sell them at 5 wen. You keep the difference. Buy at 3, sell at 5. You make 2 wen net per needle. The total number of needles sold in the shop in a year. The total profit is less than 1 tael of silver. But with this type of needle, just 100 of them, brings a gross profit of 0 taels and 200 wen. And there's no other shop in town with the same goods. How many do you have? I'll give you 100 first. When they're sold, come back for another 100. 3 wen per needle. 300 sold. But I have a condition. The Zhanwang label has to hang in my Lu Dechui shop. You just supply the goods. Can't sell to other places.
Agreed.
This condition actually benefits me. Lu Dachui's shop has been open for 20 years, with a steady customer base and good reputation. Letting him distribute is much faster than building my own channels. And this agreement is only for the town, not for the county town. The county town has an even bigger market. I'll come again next month. Next month I'll need more. 100 isn't enough. Word about these needles will spread among the town's seamstresses. By then, these needles in your hand will be hot sellers. If you manage to get even finer ones, the kind that can sew silk, the price can double. Finer needles. I've seen them at the wholesale market. Embroidery needles are thinner and shorter than regular sewing needles. Next time I cross over, I'll specifically bring back a few packs. Mr. Su. Shopkeeper Chin said. Last time, the buyer of the bundle of ginseng roots still wants you. If you have more, bring them along next market day. The price is negotiable. Here's the deposit. Keep these 2 ounces of broken silver safe. Two months ago, no one in this courtyard wanted to go near it. Now it's filled with people. But how many smiles are actually genuine? Zhang Yongchen came for the lighters and Yan's business. The medicine dealer came for Qin Lang's old mountain ginseng. The cloth dealer heard I know Zhao Wenqin at the county office. From the county office. Came to see how deep the connection goes. Scholar Zhu, I have nothing good to give you. Standing for half an hour to help you keep up appearances, that's it. Town red dye. Only 1 in 100 miles. Scholar Su, that's quite the scene. This tea adds a touch of color for you. I hope this helps him realize. Those stone sounds in the village alleys can be covered up bit by bit. Young Master Su, Uncle Joe said, congratulations on your business opening, nephew. Come to him anytime if you need anything. This signboard was written personally by Uncle Joe. This plaque and the boots he wore when he brought Dang for the first visit, when he stepped on my fingers, are all part of the dividends sent out. Thank you, Uncle Joe, for your care. Just 10 lighters or so left. Premium steel needles sorted by shape. Sewing needles are rotated to Lu Da Chui regularly. Fine embroidery needles are limited edition. Salt stocks just barely support small-scale trading. Can't expand before anyone gets addicted to cigarettes. Iodine, fever medicine, and bandages are kept private. Only for me and my family. Stainless steel pot and flashlight. Batteries hidden at the bottom of the shrine. Ready as a gift in critical situations. From steamed buns to PO price difference. I've crossed over 4 times. Every time my life hung by a thread. Each time I leveled up. Sue's Trading Company. What's this for? You hang it on your waist. If anyone in town asks who you work for, say Sue's Trading Company. Then they won't bully you anymore. Bro, this is our family business. That means I'll help you manage the books from now on. You said saving for a dowry can't be put off. Bulk, lighter purchase price, and retail records. Steel needle grading details. Test sales batch average price and ginseng in-out records. Dye sample orders and dyed cloth production estimates. This is Lu Da Chui's real account book. Purchase price 3 wen. Sold for 5 wen. How much profit for 100 needles? 200 wen. Including delivery fee? If you deliver yourself, no delivery fee. If you ask someone, deduct 10 wen. These 2 rows of numbers are the lighter transaction details for shopkeeper Zhang last month. You help me double check it. Shopkeeper Zhang's bulk lighter profit is 3 times higher than Lu Da Chui's. But Zhang owes the longest. Promised to pick up in 12 days. Actually came 18 days later. A few months ago, I squatted under this tree puking. Back then, I was calculating the 40 rent owed to Zhou Duang. Now I'm figuring out how to push my channels to Bashui town and to the county town. It covers the 3 towns to the south. 35 taels plus 400 coins. Add the goods stored in the abandoned temple. Lighters, steel pins, refined salt dye. Total assets are close to 50 taels. 50 taels isn't considered wealthy in Dazhang Dynasty. But it's enough to rent a storefront on West Street in the county. Enough to move Sue's trading company from Qingnu village to the county. Once in the county, I can talk business with shopkeeper Chin face to face. I can ask Yao Wenyuan to connect me with official salt distributors. I won't have to put up with Zhou Duang anymore. Starting tomorrow, I'll bring mom and little sister to live in town. Not in that house Zhou Duang offered for free. That house is Zhou Duang's trap. Once you move in, you can't get out. I want to find a separate house in town myself. Rent it under the name of Sue's Trading Company. Pay the rent from my own account. Don't leave any leverage for outsiders. Aji, the business you're running now, mom won't ask what it is. But if you ever feel you've had enough, enough for all three of us to eat, enough for your little sister to get treatment, enough for you to live with dignity in town, would you be willing to stop then? It's not enough yet. Your mom sees everything, but she pretends not to. That's your mom's greatest strength. Is there enough money?
Yes.
I'm not asking about right now. I'm asking if it's enough in your heart. Not enough. But almost there. From now on, I won't ask you again. Once I make 100 taels, I'll quit. As long as nothing happens before I reach 100 taels. Little sister, come here. Put your hand in. Tell me, is it hot?
Hot.
Try again. Still a bit hot. It's warm but not hot. Remember this temperature. Warm but not hot. Warm but not hot. Big brother is alive. Brother, they're alive. It can't be too hot. It can't be too hot. Our wheat is much taller than the field next door. Test the water temperature by hand. Warm but not hot. Shorten the time in summer. Add thicker cover in winter. What if water temperature is different in summer and winter? It's just like the human body feels hot or cold. Water temperature is naturally higher in summer. Spend 1 hour less. Water is colder in winter. Spend 1 more hour and cover thicker. Scholar Sue, how do you know this method yourself? My father saw a full copy of farm management book in the capital. He noted down these local techniques. If you can triple our yield here, half the poor in town will disappear. That's truly useful work. Lighter fluid will run out. Steel pins will rust. But the method to increase yield by 30% per acre will be passed down by word of mouth. It will change the fate of the whole village. And what is this a painting of? A book left by my father, said to be a fragment from a collection in the capital. I can't understand it either. If bad people come, you can call for brother. What bad people? The Zhou family. Uncle Zhao, this is the key to the ancestral house. I'd like to ask you to clean it every half month. Just sweep the yard in the main hall. Aren't you afraid someone will break in? That well is dry. No one goes there. If someone does, please let me know. Lord Zhao, take a seat on your way. Please give it to me at my back house. The lighter at the door, I've taken it. The salt sample has been tested and it's clean. Its purity is extremely high. It's not inferior even to tribute salt from the capital. The new county magistrate has just taken office. He is cracking down on illicit salt. You really shouldn't openly sell this kind of salt on the market. You have to give it some credentials. You don't need any official salt permit. Even an expired but not yet cancelled old permit will do. You don't have to use the official salt sales channel. But the permit can prove the salt has legitimate origins. It's not smuggled or homebrewed. Even if someone reports you and provides a stamped permit as evidence, the magistrate's office usually won't push further. But this matter can only be dealt with slowly. Old salt permits are usually destroyed after they're cancelled. The ones that remain are mostly in the hands of retired salt officials or private individuals. You remember that run-down temple by the well in Qingyu village, right? The land was government-owned in the early days. It was abandoned later. If you can buy it, using the pretext of repairing the temple and rebuilding a village school, then apply for a land deed transfer at the county office. That becomes your legitimate reason for going to the county to handle paperwork. With that legal identity, accessing the archives room at the county school becomes justified, and looking for those permits is only natural. I'll go think about it. You, as a scholar, are much more ruthless in business than I was at your age. Not ruthless enough yet. Negotiating the land purchase empty-handed. He won't even meet you if you bring something along. Don't talk about purchasing the land. Just talk about presenting a gift. Once the gift is delivered, discuss the land matters later. What kind of gift? You figure it out. But it has to be valuable enough. This one with 120 mechanical pieces. The back is hollow. You can see the gears. That's the one I want. Secretary Zhao said you're a scholar from Qingyu village. And now you run a store in town. As a scholar, you're not focused on your studies. So what business are you doing? My family is too poor to put food on the table. What kind of pocket watch is this? It's for telling time. How do you read it? Shorthand shows the hour. Longhand shows the minutes and seconds. The hands move clockwise. A full wind lasts 36 hours. The error doesn't exceed the time it takes to drink a cup of tea. How does this thing actually work? Can you explain in detail? It's driven by a mainspring, and the gears mesh together. If you're interested, you can ask Blacksmith Lee in the west of the city to take one apart. You'll see the mechanics that way. Did you make this yourself? No, it was my father's old possession. When my father was young, he worked odd jobs in the capital. He had some exposure to the world. He brought this pocket watch back from the capital. It stayed at the bottom of a chest all these years. I figured rather than letting it gather dust at home, it's better to give it to someone who can use it. At which household did your father work as an odd job man in the capital? Which family specifically? My father didn't say. He only said it was a wealthy household. You didn't just come to see me today to give a watch, did you? There's something else, right? There's also one more thing I'd like to ask you to try, sir. There's an old temple in Qingyu village. It's been neglected for years. The deity statues have already collapsed. The land beneath that temple was originally government-owned. I want to buy it in my own name, repair the temple, and rebuild a village school next to it, so village children can learn to read and study. I'd like to apply for a land deed transfer for this, sir. I'm seeking your guidance. As for purchasing the land, I'll have the land office check the ownership of that parcel. If it's indeed government-owned and not put to any other use, it can be allotted to you. But on one condition. After the school is built, you must accept at least 10 students a year. No extra fees for those willing to study. All right, you head back for now. Wait until the land office finishes investigating. Secretary Zhao will notify you, Scholar Su. Does your pocket watch have a name, such as Passage of Time? This year's wild ginseng is harder to source from the old woods than before. Prices are up 20%. If you scholar have access to more ginseng, I'll buy at market rates. Let me know when the next batch comes. I'll inform you. Today's goods have all been counted up. There are 100 boxes of regular needles in total. They're all sold out. What about the embroidery needles? 8 are left. The dye master delivered this month's profit share. The last batch of dye-colored 6 bolts of red cloth. Sold for 28 taels. By agreement, 5 taels are our share. I've put it in the safe. Has Manager Chin paid the ginseng roots balance yet? Paid 5 taels for the roots. Balance of 3 taels for the roots. Total is 8 taels. Manager Chin said he wants more next batch. Price remains the same. At least 50 embroidery needles for the next batch. Add another 100 regular needles. Manager Liu, what do you think? The one who asked yesterday if he could buy out all your embroidery needles said any price is fine. Embroidery needles cost 5 copper coins each. You sell them for 10. That's a 5-coin profit. How much is Manager Liu willing to pay? 15 coins. I'll give you 60 embroidery needles next batch. Cost goes up 2 coins. 7 coins each. You sell to Manager Liu for 15. That's an 8-coin profit. But on one condition. Manager Liu can't sell them in town. For personal use only. If he resells, I take back the next batch. Scholar Su, your brain. It's a shame you're not doing big business in the county seat. Soon, next month, Su Trading Company will open a branch in the county. A branch? Where did you get so much money? Don't worry about the money. The important thing is, Once my county branch opens, your embroidery needles and improved farming tools can be sold in the county too, at a 20% higher price than in town. And sales can double too. Brother, what are you drawing? A route map of the mountain backroads. Looks like a military formation diagram. Little sister, let me finish this essay section first. Once the county branch opens, the guaranteed turnover for the first month has to be 50 taels. Inventory cost can't exceed 20 taels. Payment periods can't be over 30 days. Brother, is it about time for you to leave again? In 3 days. Mom asks if you need to stock up on lamp wicks for next month. Starting today, all the dormant stock under the old temple and the stone slabs sealed off by the ancient well are all protected by this piece of paper. Buy the temple and build a school, then use the school to protect the temple. Zhao Wenyuan and Sun Nayan both think this is charity. Only he himself knows that every step is a business move. Scholar Su. This jar is my shop's 12-year-old aged by Jew. I'm here today to ask you for a favor. What is it? The county deputy's birthday is next month. I want to give him a jar of good liquor. But nothing sold in the market is worthy enough for his status. I drank your silver eye at Zhou Duang's house. That soup you made, you can get really special stuff. Do you have any kind of liquor? That, once brought out, will make the whole county remember it. Give me 10 days. Come see in 10 days. 12 taels for a sample batch is fine. Borrow the big dye pot to use as a still. Make a hole in the wooden lid for the main tube. Run the main tube through a cold water basin as a condenser. Scholar Su, what you described isn't a liquor still, it's a regular steamer. It is a steamer, but the steam is not water, it's liquor. Let me try it.
Hung.
How much will a batch yield? 12 gin of raw liquor. It can yield about 2 gin of high-proof liquor. The aged Beitai brought by Zhang Yongchang. If it's all distilled, it can yield 3 gin. That's enough for him to take as a birthday gift to the county. And enough for me to thank Ming. On the opening day, it'll be the featured product to draw customers. At the county's birthday banquet, once this wine is served, the Su Trading House's name will spread throughout the county's official circles. Give this to Master Duan Ran. Let him use it for now. I'll adjust it when I come back. Yanggen Tongbao official mint sample. The condition is slightly above average. 100 per coin, how many do you have? Manager Sun, could you take a look at this for me? This one means Tian. This one is Gong. It's not the regular script we use today. It's an even older form than Qin and Han times. These next few. They might be symbols specific to a region, or characteristic marks from a particular era. They might not even be real characters. Thank you, Manager Sun. I'll come again next time and bring you even better treasures. Bro, the wheat I planted for Kia matured early last time. Was it because I didn't water them enough? It's not a watering problem. Light promoted germination is just step 1. After sprouting, the leaves need sunshine to produce nutrients. The wall and bamboo frame blocked some sunlight. The grain heads didn't get enough nutrition. See, these grains here grew while hungry. Next time, plant them by the east wall. There's more sun over there. What kind of sugar is this? It's not cane sugar. It's made by further purifying and crystallizing rock sugar from cane sugar. Scholar Sue, do you know what kind of sugar ready-made pastry shops use? They all use cane sugar. Lots of impurities, yellow in color. So the cakes made aren't white. If we had this kind of clear sugar, how many things could we make? Clear as ice, white as snow, not a trace of impurity. So this crystal sugar will be the second signature product at Su Trading House's branch. The first one is Chongjiang Yuyi. When I get back from the county, I'll set up a small stove in the backyard, dedicated to testing rock sugar. After testing, I'll write you up a procedure sheet. At the village school, a 9-year-old wrote this. His father planted a half-move wheat using your restricted germination method. The sprouts really did grow 2 full inches taller than the neighbor's field. The kid wrote his thoughts on the math test and drew a wheat stalk taller than the wall.
He only got 2 points on math.
But he really tried. Bro, once the community academy opens, can I go and learn accounting? When the community academy opens, you're not going there to learn accounting. You're going there to teach it. Bro, what if nobody shows up on opening day? There'll be people. It's a shop along the street with a backyard. Good location. Rent is reasonable. Manager Feng from Tunjuan Cloth Shop on West Street came to the government office to inquire yesterday. Asked very detailed questions. Where they're from, what business they do, who their partners are. Why is Manager Feng asking about me? This color is really nice. Yesterday, Manager Feng stood here for a long while. After looking at the color, left without saying a word. Didn't say a word, just stood and looked, then left after looking. That bolt of red from Master Duan Ran was washed 3 times and didn't fade. I'll bring it to Madame Feng at Tunjuan Cloth Shop and see what she says. Her face turned green. Manager Feng, you called us here to talk about that Su fellow? Not just about him. He's in Beishui town, a ways from us, but now he's opened a branch in the county. I checked his wild ginseng myself. The quality is up, but the price is 20% below the local purchase price. I asked Manager Chin where he sources his ginseng. Manager Chin wouldn't say. As for ironworks, I also asked Master Lu Hammer, but his lips are tighter than hazelnuts. He opens tomorrow. I had you send people to Beishui to check him out. Did you find anything? Only half the story. His goods all get shipped out of Qingyu village. But there's no workshop in Qingyu village. Number 9, no medicinal fields. So where do the goods come from? Couldn't find out. Also, it's him, Manager Chin, Master Lu Hammer, and Master Duan. Those few are very tight. His reputation in town is also rising. He also has an accountant, a woman, not very old, extremely fast at bookkeeping. Zhang Yongcheng is also doing liquor business with him. And he has a newly approved land deed from the county office, covering an abandoned temple in Qingyu village. It's written for setting up a school and experimental fields. He bought land in Qingyu village. What's so special about that place? There's a dry well. He might just want the metaphysical tax exemption. Let's not worry about that well for now. He opens tomorrow. Let's see what tricks he actually has. If he's only selling embroidery needles and wild ginseng, the three of us can each slash prices and drive him off West Street within 3 months. If he's got something else, then don't blame us three for joining forces. If your opening goes hot, some people won't be able to sit still. What are your plans? Sun Jianlin's notice is posted right there. The inscriptions on the stele aren't finished yet. Wait until the carving is done. Even if they can't sit still, they'll have to weigh the significance of the stele first. Brother, is anyone coming tomorrow? Someone will come. Something happened to shopkeeper Su. Old scholar Zhao sent a message through someone. Old Yu is dead. How did he die? Yesterday afternoon, San Fei. Old Yu was driving a mule cart back from the county seat to Qingyu village. He took that southern mountain road. That road is usually very peaceful. Nothing has ever happened there. But yesterday, someone intercepted him halfway. The mule cart was pushed into a mountain ravine. All the goods are gone. Old Liu's body wasn't discovered until this morning. There were knife wounds on him. Take me there. Aji, old Liu has a simple-minded son. He's 19 this year. He's not very bright. Old Yu used to take care of him personally. Now that old Liu is gone, there's no one to look after the boy. I'll take care of him. There was a batch of goods on old Liu's mule cart. It's the batch you wanted to send to the county branch. Embroidery needles and red cloth. All the goods are gone. This was found in old Liu's palm. He was still clutching it before he died. This piece of cloth was torn from a mountain bandit. Embroidery workshop stitching, government office ink smell. Hemp texture. Shopkeeper Sue, before you opened the branch in the county seat, no one on this land bled because of such calamities. Old Liu is the first. The bandits' robbery wasn't an accident. I've been keeping an eye on bandit tracks lately. In past years, bandit activity followed fixed seasons. After the autumn harvest with more grain and carts, that was the main period for highway robberies. Since February, there have been reports of sporadic private laborers being robbed. The methods are swift and clean. They only take goods, not lives. But this time, they took old Liu's goods and killed him. It's not their usual style. Your roots in town are too deep, and your rise in the county seat was too fast. It has already touched the core interests of the old established firms. Someone wants you to know. You're in the light, and they're in the dark. Secretary Zhao, the embroidery stitching and the ink smell. Can you help me investigate this clue? I can. But I advise you not to make a scene before finding the truth. The foundation of those old firms in the county seat isn't something a new branch like yours can shake. At least now is not the time. I'm not shaking their foundation. I only want to know one thing. What is it? Who handed that blade to the leader of the mountain bandits? Who? About old Liu's matter, I've heard. Just say it. What do you want me to do? I want you to help me forge a few items. What items? Iron caltrops. 4 sharp points, each point tempered. A hole in the middle, so a rope can be threaded through. What is this for? Why do you want these? For self-defense.
How many? Start with 100.
When do you need them? 3 days. 3 days it is. When will old Liu's funeral be held? I'll bring 2 bolts of white cloth. Let's not talk about the funeral yet. I want you to take the shortest time possible to cut these main tubes into 8 sections according to my measurements. Each section 1/2 foot long. Inner diameter 1 inch. One end of the tube sharpened, the other end sealed with mud. Sharpened? You're doing this well. I'll do it right away. Listen to me finish. I want you to help me find a few clay pots. Narrow-mouthed, and the bottom can bear weight. Punch a small hole in the bottom of the clay pot, with a diameter just enough for the sharp tip of a tube to pass through. And then? Then put the sharpened tube tip up, inserting it into the hole at the bottom of the clay pot. Fix it in place, put a layer of gravel in the pot, then spread a layer of dry soil. Press a stone slab over the mouth of the pot. Take this clay pot and bury it under the loose soil at a bend in the mountain road. Only expose the sharp tip of the tube, 1/2 inch above the ground. If someone steps on it, the tube at the bottom of the pot will, due to leverage, press down. The gravel and soil in the pot will instantly crash down, and the sharp tip of the tube will spring up from the soil. It's not to pierce the sole of the foot. It's aimed to spring toward the ankle and the side of the instep. This is the principle of a pitfall trap. But it's not digging a pit. It's burying a pot. There's gravel and soil under the pot, so it won't sink immediately. But once the tip of the tube is stepped on, the weight on the bottom of the pot is released, and the soil under the foot will collapse. As the person sinks down, the tube springs up from below, hitting the ankle directly. You need to set 3 parallel tubes under a large patch of loose soil to be enough to support a person's weight. These don't need to be too dense. Every few dozen paces along a mountain road, burying 1 or 2 spots is enough. If the bandits try to rush through at night, the people in front step on them, and the people behind will have to stop. Once they stop, you'll know which way they are running. Scholar Sue, where did you learn all this? From the books my father left behind. I'll handle the bamboo tubes. I'll go to the mountains to find clay pots and gravel. Is 3 days enough? Enough. Old Sue, I've run this blacksmith shop for 20 years. And this is the first time I've forged something like this. Look at the labels on the diagram you drew. Iron, for example, a 4-sided triangular solid. The angles have been adjusted. In a normal iron caltrop, the 4 points are of equal length. The one you drew has 2 dihedral angles. The base edge widened by a 1/4 inch. With this change, when scattered on the ground, no matter how it rolls, there's always 1 sharp point facing up. It's more effective than a regular tetrahedron. Where did you learn this? From the books my father left behind. The books your father left are truly diverse. The main tubes are 1.5 inches in diameter and 1/2 foot long, as you said, with sharp tips. The sharpening angle is also those few degrees marked on your blueprints. How much deviation? I can't guarantee perfection, but when I was sharpening, I followed the measurements closely. The gravel is spread 1/2 finger thick, with dry soil pressed on top. Above the soil is a stone slab. Before sealing the mouth with the slab, I tried using a hemp rope tied to a small stone, and threw it onto the tip of the tube. The stone slab was pulled loose, and the loose soil and gravel at the bottom of the pot crashed down instantly. The force of the tube springing up could launch a 1/2-pound stone to the height of a roof beam. Before the stone slab was sealed, you tested it with the pot mouth facing down. Yes, tested it upside down. The tube is inserted upward into the bottom of the pot. The stone slab is pressed against the mouth of the pot. The moment the stones crash down, the weight on the bottom of the pot is released. The stone slab can no longer hold the mouth. The entire pot of gravel and soil crashes down, and the tube springs in the opposite direction. Oh my. Mountain products, mountain products. Whom did Shan Hu marry? Have you heard? The Su family trading firm. Early next month, on the 3rd, a batch of goods is being moved from town to the county seat. The value is significant. Besides lighters and silver salt, there's also a new shipment of nectar wine. Supposedly, several wealthy families in the county pre-ordered it long ago. Ah. Who hired you? Speak up. I'll go get a doctor for you. Someone from the county, wearing a fur coat, surnamed Kian. Bage calls him Manager Kian. He said on the South Mountain Road there's a fat sheep with plenty of loot. I know who it is. The one who hired the mountain bandits is Manager Kian from Tunjuan Cloth Mill, Feng Wanchang's man. But Feng Wanchang isn't the one behind Manager Kian. Feng Wanchang hates me, but he only dares to compete in the marketplace. The one who paid for the hit was Zhou Duang. He used Feng Wanchang's name, settled old scores from the past, and kept his own hands clean. Why would Zhou Duang do such a thing? Because from the very beginning he never intended to partner with me. What he wanted was never the futures. What he wants is the channel. The supply relationships I hold in the town and the county. Every single deal weakens his control. He already lost Qingyu village. He lost half the town. If he loses the county seat too, he'll become an old chair in the county's business bureau, left gathering dust in the corner. Old Zhang wants to drive down the price. He wants to squeeze me out completely. He doesn't need me to collapse on my own. He just needs me to stop standing behind the counter. Whether it's because of a lack of money, fear of death, or because I caused the death of an innocent person, he achieves his goal either way. I truly didn't expect him to use such despicable methods. What do you plan to do? I'm going to file a lawsuit. But I'm not suing Zhou Duang. Manager Qian's testimony won't reach him. I'm only suing Manager Qian, suing him for hiring a killer. The petition won't be overreaching. It will target only one person. This way, Magistrate Sun won't feel that I'm trying to stir up the entire business circle. It will also serve as a warning to others, letting the other established merchants know that I have a sense of propriety. First thing tomorrow morning, I'll file the petition for you. You are the plaintiff, and Manager Qian is the defendant. Old Yu's testimony and injury records will be attached to the petition. As for old Liu's simple-minded son, I had my sister bring him to town yesterday. He's helping out with odd jobs at Dyer Duan's place for now. He'll have food to eat and a place to stay. Manager Su, it's not just cargo manifest and silver in your hands anymore. Now there's a human life involved. A person like you, if you reach higher ground in the future, Remember that old Liu didn't die of a natural disaster. He was hit by the crossfire on this chessboard. The one who starts the game must bear all the costs. The women caught him. Manager Kian was pinned down while climbing over a wall. He tried to climb out a window, stepped on moss and fell. The bailiffs didn't even have to chase him. He's been a manager in the county for 20 years. But when it was time to go to court for trial, his legs turned to jelly. How did the interrogation go? The leader was about to talk. That mountain bandit from Nanshan. He hasn't mentioned a word about the person behind him. A manager for 20 years. It's natural for his legs to go weak. However, his mouth is shut tight. He's likely leaving himself a way out. The testimony is complete.
He admitted to taking 500 taels of silver,
To hire 8 bulls to descend the mountain and intercept your firm's transport. But he's sticking to one point. He only told 8 bulls to hijack the goods and scare people. Not to kill anyone. He hired people to block you. The money used was transferred by Zhou Duang through an out-of-town middleman. But the trail went cold twice in the middle. It can't be traced back to Zhou Duang himself. Convicted on hiring a killer, colluding with mountain bandits, and endangering trade route safety, Manager Kian is sentenced to 40 strokes of the cane and conscripted into the army. 8 bulls has been put on the wanted list, with a 20-tael bounty for his capture. Su family trading firm is compensated 50 taels in silver for the goods. Old Liu's family will be compensated separately. I'll go to old Liu's home. Dad said Manager Su would come. When your father left, there were 2 pairs of shoes on the mule cart. One pair he wore until the solace were gone. But this pair he kept under the seat, too precious to wear. Dad. Brother, a few days after you left, someone was entrusted to watch over things. The city guards delivered a batch of goods, saying they came from Beishui town. In the crates were bluestone slabs, an old bronze mirror, a stack of old Zhuan paper, and the delivery man said, these items were wrapped in straw paper with wild ginseng. He was delivering them for a friend who roams the mountains. That friend has trouble with his legs right now, and can't come in person for the time being. But he wants to continue doing business with you in the future. Manager Kian is gone, but Fang Wanchang will send someone else to test us. Brother, should we go and confront Fang Wanchang directly? No need. I want him to find his own way here. If he comes in person and asks if you'll still take his cloth, say yes. But first, record a goodwill deposit in the ledger and let him fill in the amount himself. What if he leads men to block our supply route? The roads Feng Wanchang can block are the ones to the town and the county seat. But this batch of goods, the bluestone, ginseng, and bronze mirror, came from Beishui town. He hasn't even heard of it. Then take the red cloth newly produced by Dyer Duan and display it as a sample under the porch of Xiao Wenyuan's old house. Make it so he has no choice but to face the authorities. In Feng Wanchang's eyes, you're just a little girl who checks accounts. The more he looks down on you, the easier it is for him to expose his hand. Brother, I've learned your ways. But I don't want to just learn these things. I want to go to the lectures and listen to the storytelling. When you go to the storytelling, take this page with you. If there are words you don't know, ask. Old Scholar Zhao. You going first. A directive from Prefect Fang of Nanyuan Prefecture. Manager Su is invited to the prefectural office in 3 days for a talk. It's not a bad situation. But the attention of the authorities often comes when you don't feel uncomfortable. Adding a ruler to measure your depth and to see if your back is straight enough. For that meeting in 3 days, I must bring the best samples of 3 items. The cleanest ledger and the steadiest composure. Manager Su, Lord Fang, invites you to the back hall for a meal. Sit. Manager Su, how long has your firm been open? It's been over 4 months since we hung the sign in town. The county branch has been open for less than a month. Over 4 months. Your goods have spread from Qingnu village to 3 towns and 1 county seat. Now even the merchants in my prefectural city are asking about your nectar wine and crystal sugar. I've checked your business tax records. The branch wasn't open for even a month, and its tax amount already ranks in the top 3 of this county. In the commercial history of this dynasty, this is not to say unique, but it is extremely rare. However, the reason I invited you here today is not to praise you. Regarding the case of Manager Kian hiring a killer, I've read Magistrate Sun's verdict. The verdict was written very well. Hiring a killer, colluding with mountain bandits, and endangering the safety of the merchant crossing. The 3 charges are clear, and the sentencing is appropriate. But there is one thing. The verdict did not mention. On the night the mountain bandits blocked the road, you set up iron cairns and mechanical traps on the mountain path. Magistrate Sun's constables were at the scene and found traces of 8 burial sites. The craftsmanship was very fine, not something that could be done on a whim. The quenching process in the iron bars, the mechanical design of the ceramic pot traps, none of these are things an ordinary mountain dweller could conceive. Lord Fang, those mechanisms were designed by me. I know they were designed by you. I'm not looking to prosecute this. When facing bandits on a trade route, for the victim to set up defenses is perfectly natural. I'm just curious about the principles of those mechanisms. Where did you learn them? Lord Fang, those mechanisms were designed by me. I know they were designed by you. I'm not looking to prosecute this. When facing bandits on a trade route, for the victim to set up defenses is perfectly natural. I'm just curious about the principles of those mechanisms. Where did you learn them? The household he served had an extremely rich collection of books. Among them were many transcripts regarding engineering, technology, and agriculture. After my father returned to his hometown in his later years, he drew the things he remembered into an album and gave it to me before he passed away. What was the name of that family? My father didn't say. Manager Sue, I've been the prefect in Nanyuan Prefecture for 6 years. In those 6 years, I've seen no fewer than 1,000 merchants. At least 800. When I ask most merchants about their source of goods, there are only two reactions. Either they're anxious to explain, or they bring up their backing. You are the first. I ask you where the goods come from, and you tell me a story about a father and son being like beasts. Lord Feng, I am not someone with any backing. You are not, even if you were, you wouldn't use it. This is not a compliment, but a hunter recognizing another hunter. You are using a carefully prepared answer to shut down the question. You use a defense that is very convincing, with neither humility nor the unease of being seen through. I won't press further, but I'll give you a piece of advice. You can use mechanisms to repel mountain bandits. Use a pocket watch to knock open the county yamen, and use exotic goods to open the market. These are all your skills. But the greater the skill, the more people will be watching you. Have you ever wondered if one day in the future, the emperor asks you the same question? How do you plan to answer? I haven't thought of it yet. If someone asks me, Fang has been a prefect for 6 years, with students and old friends everywhere, the word ambition will fall on my head sooner or later. So every year I write a debriefing report to the emperor, reporting the good news but not the bad, being as low profile as a nail. It's not that I lack ambition, it's that I don't want to be pulled out. Do you understand what I mean? I understand. Good. This meal today is not an interrogation. It's to take your measure. The measurement is done. You're tall enough and steady enough. Go back and do your business well. If anyone looks for you here in the prefectural city, please give them my name. Thank you, Lord Feng. Manager Sue, is that album your father left behind still around? It is, but it's already incomplete. It's been heavily moth-eaten. Only a few pages are legible. It's a pity. This lie can pass in front of the county yamen, and barely pass in front of the prefect. But if one day you face someone at a higher level, it might not hold up again. You need to prepare a higher level answer in advance. Not by changing your father, but by changing the logic. After this meal today, Prefect Feng has given me something quite valuable. Not appreciation, but a path. Prefect Feng said, "The greater the skill, the more people will be watching you." Old Liu died because of his skills. He must find a balance between skill and concealment. Lord Feng asked me to deliver this. Lord Feng said, "Just be aware of it after you've read it. No need to reply to the letter." Manager Sue, regarding our conversation that day, I am quite interested in your identity as an organizer of investigating things, Zhu, as you claimed. If what you said is true, please list the ancient books and seedlings you have organized and their sources. Additionally, the application for the educational monument has been approved. I hope you will soon establish the institute and start teaching in Qingnu village. Lord Feng is paving the way for you. This letter has 2 layers of meaning. The first layer, once you organize these things, the educational institution will be your shield. The second layer, if you can't produce them, the words from that dinner can never be mentioned again. It's up to you. He has upgraded your identity, from a trader of exotic goods to an organizer of investigating things. The former is a merchant. The latter is half a scholar. But he wants me to list the bibliography and sources. In the early years of this dynasty, to the west of the city god temple in Nanyuan Prefecture, there was a library called Wenshan Pavilion. It once housed a collection of scattered transcripts of achievements from the previous dynasty. Wenshan Pavilion was destroyed by fire in the 3rd year of Yong'an. Not 1 in 10 books survived. 10 years later, someone from the capital came to clear the ashes once, and transported the remaining fragments back to the Imperial Academy. Additionally, he once helped the capital officials clear the ashes of Wenshan Pavilion. If he had referenced a few pages of diagrams while searching the rubble, and later drew them from memory, this explanation is perfectly reasonable. The books are burned. There's no way to verify it. The catalog of fragments transported to the capital is indeed incomplete. No one can say you're faking it. So how should the book list be written? Not just listing the book titles, but also writing the source of the poems. The structure of the square pallet chain pump in Wang Zhen's Book of Agriculture. I just used it in Qingyu Village. Those unsolved ancient characters in the appendix of the fragments of Tiangong Kaiwu also match the diagrams I mentioned before. There are also Wu Bai Zi and Mengxi Baitan. All of these can serve as physical evidence, listed under the fragments supplemented by my late father. Write the sources clearly. The formulas and blueprints, attach them all under those recognized ancient titles. That way, when Prefect Feng reports in the future, he can say, these were all organized from ancient books, not created out of thin air. Lord Feng is creating a file for me. Yes, the thicker the better. Kowtow to Lord Feng. I am grateful for your inquiry, my lord. The list of ancient books and sources organized by student Jinjiang in recent years are as follows, with organization notes attached. For your verification. 1. Tiangong Kaiwu Fragments Volume on Brine Distillation. My father's remaining ink combined. This is the basis for the Jiur Gold Nectar distillation method. 2. Mengxi Baitan, Volume 18, on Mechanical Advantage. It lies not in the tool but in the method. My father supplemented this based on the text, the ratios of pros and cons and the efficiency of labor saving. Since the leverage and iron arms ceased to be the foundation of the extraction mechanism. 3 to 5 times the mass exceeded, and there are more than 10 types of diagrams. My father understood the universal principles behind trigger mechanisms. The section on the construction of the water wheel in the diagram manual for true farmers of the 4 kings. My father heard about a single surviving page in a pavilion. He reconstructed the manuscript showing the water wheel linkage. 5 Wengxi pavilions remaining copied diagram pages. After the Great Fire in Wengxin Pavilion in the 3rd year of Yong'an, my late father borrowed them from the ashes alongside the officials who cleared the capital, and copied the diagrams by memory on blank pages. Most of them are so worn they are unrecognizable now. Only about a dozen remain. My father picked up a few diagram pages from the ashes of Wenin Pavilion. He spent half his life organizing these surviving pages into a book. Even if Magistrate Fang doesn't believe it, he can't break this logic either. Wenin Pavilion has already burned down. No one can prove my father never entered those ashes. Brother, old scholar Zhao asked you to check out the shooting range foundation. That's a Wang, the quickest to learn to read in the village school. The community school is open. Can I come? You can come. A jar of homemade coarse brew, not daring to call it a birthday gift. Just inviting the old lady to try something new? If it doesn't suit her taste, just throw it away. This isn't a birthday gift. If it were a birthday gift, Magistrate Fang would enter it in the register. Then it would become a public favor exchange. But with no signature, and just saying it's to try. It's a private probe between individuals. Please let Magistrate Fang know. When there's a new brew in the future, the first jar will go to him to taste. Brother, does that mean Magistrate Fang counts as our backer now? A backer doesn't depend on spoken friendship. It's about being caught right in the middle. That person, but the triangle relationship is all clear. Brother, tell me, will Clerk Zhao ever take what we've given him in the future and use it against us instead? Zhao Wenshu can speak on behalf of us in front of Magistrate Sun. He can also give sound arguments in front of Prefect Fang. With him around, both sides are stable. I've thought about this issue many times. Zhao Yuan is our most reliable ally in the county office, but also the most dangerous potential opponent. He knows our source of goods is unclear. He knows we fabricated the story about our father's genealogy. He knows we set traps on the mountain road, and that we fought off mountain bandits. But the underlying connections are not so easily severed. He knows everything. Yet so far he hasn't used anything to threaten us. Because he and you share a certain balance. I need his official connections to protect my life. He also needs our rare goods to raise his own influence in the county office. He won't act for now. But he won't always stay that way. After the Sheksu school starts up, I want to invite him as a guest lecturer in mathematics. Not to hire him, but to make him one of us. Have him come to Qingyu village once a week to teach arithmetic for half a day. The students give him brush bundles as gifts. We pay for his travel expenses. He's not coming to audit our books. He's coming to teach. Even if he wants to investigate in the future, we'd first need to collect the math tests he wrote himself, and the lecture notes, and take them back first. Some costs can't be washed away like scales by a fish. Mother said we don't need to pick lamp wicks anymore. There's a lamp by the well. Jingbi. The script is more regular than oracle bone script, and more concise than bronze inscriptions. It refers to an even more primitive engraving system before oracle bones. How could there be technology that transcends time and space?
Take care.
Mother left some porridge. Prefect Fang mentioned it at the banquet. There's only one royal merchant's lot in this county each year. From Magistrate Sun Sheksu approval to Prefect Fang's endorsement. From the official perspective, I've gone from an outsider merchant to a folk business recognized by the authorities. Only 2 steps away from becoming a royal merchant. These 2 steps, annual revenue standard, I'm confident I can meet that. And an official's recommendation. I still haven't found someone influential enough and willing to speak up. With Prefect Fang Zhao Wenyuan and Magistrate Sun, these 3 pins are firmly nailed down. Now, there's a place to hang the emperor's plaque. We can't delay progress. It must be completed within 3 months. Master Duan, did you write these characters yourself? I'll look for the old scholar. The things used for school opening can't just be sturdy. Wow. Suji, time to eat. Zhouji. Prefect Feng once recommended Zhouji for a plaque. At the very least, it means Zhouji and the prefecture office are on friendly terms. But having connections doesn't necessarily mean collusion. But we still have to figure out Zhouji's true intentions first. Next door are a tea house and a bookstore. Diagonally across is the side entrance to the prefecture school. The richer students at the prefecture school go for fine wines and rock sugar tea. They're the most targeted customers. They like to spread the latest news during meals and tea time. Monthly rent is 8 taels. Lease for 3 years. The landlord can't raise rent during these 3 years. There's a vacant lot in the backyard of the shop. My family will build a kitchen there, at my own expense. When the lease ends, the kitchen will be yours, or it will be mine. Don't flaunt your wealth, Prefect Fang said.
He always reports only good news in his annual reports.
We need to nail down a pin at the prefecture city too. Don't fight for the best spot. Don't hang the brightest sign. Don't hire the most staff. First, make sure the pin is nailed down tight. Then slowly dig deeper. In a place like the prefecture city, whenever a new shop opens, it always draws the attention of competitors. Rather than making the first move and giving them leverage, it's better to let the other side act first. Shopkeeper Sue, my surname is Ma. I just opened a general store on West Street in the prefecture city. I heard that you're opening a branch here from the county, so I came by to congratulate you. Shopkeeper Sue, your shop's location is a bit out of the way. Since you're newly opened, you should test the waters first. Test what? This is a good place. Shops here are expensive, true, but the foot traffic is huge. Your shop is hidden in an alley, so the prefecture school students might pass by after class. But how much money can they have? The real big spenders are all on the main street. Shopkeeper Sue. Your merchandise. Lighters, steel needles, fine wines. I've heard of them all over the city. But I'm really curious about one thing. What's that? How do you plan to sell them? Shopkeeper Ma is asking about the shop's sales strategy. This is similar to glassware. You keep your goods locked behind glass. No touching, no buying. Whoever does business and doesn't let people touch the goods. Too many hands will make them dirty. Are you sure the lighter won't light? No way. Wow. That Mr. Chan just tried it on the spot.
He used it to light his tobacco.
It's 3 times faster than a fire striker. Why is it clearly see-through, but you can't feel the wind? And it's windproof. The treasure display window. We'll open tomorrow at 7 a.m. $50 taels for a card, enough to buy 2 top-quality fox pelts. This guy's nuts. 50 taels for a membership card? No way he's selling even one, I bet. 50 taels isn't cheap. But even my colleague who teaches at the prefecture school said, at his academy, there are already 3 students pooling money to buy your wine. That amount could rent a top shop on Main Street for a year. Or host a banquet table. Enough to invite every official and gentry in the city. I bet he can sell 3 cards, old Kian. You think he can sell 3? At least 3. Why? Because he's not selling cards. He's selling status. Those wealthy lords and ladies in town are spending 50 taels on something nobody else can buy, just to flaunt it. This isn't a membership card. It's called I'm Not Like You. What's the most expensive gold hairpin you can sell at your jewelry store? At most 20 taels. But people buy your gold hairpins to show them off to others. But buying Su Shukai's card is to prove they're able to buy it, to show it off. Not just 50 taels. It's to prove they're better than others. Absolutely 50 taels. While you're laughing at him for being crazy, he's already counting the money. Shopkeeper Sue. After a year, can the 50 tael card still be renewed? Yes, renewal price remains the same. You're the first in the city. From now on, this is VIP no one. The reason shopkeeper Liu sold at half price. Manager Liu, where do the embroidery needles used by our seamstresses come from? Not from Beshui town. They're from Zhou's. Using someone else's name. I want to see what exactly this shop carries. Go get me one of their membership cards. What would you like to see, sir? Chongjiang Yuyi liquor. Pour me a small glass. Next, what would you like to see, sir? You've worked hard inspecting the river works along the way. This liquor is homemade by a small local business in Fucheng. It's called Chongzhang Yuye. Please try it. There are plenty of good things in Fucheng. Mention them to your friends when returning to the capital. Unlimited good liquor. But purchase is limited. Limiting purchase is interesting. First, register your name. Write down what you want. State how much you need. Then pick up a number tag. Come back tomorrow afternoon at the time on your tag. No need to queue early. Even if you queue early, you won't get it sooner. If you show up early, you'll just wait in the alley. This purchase limit idea of yours. I thought it over. You're not honoring the customers. You're actually honoring yourself by naming each bottle. Next time you limit one bottle. Each bottle has a numbered seal on it, said to prevent private resale, to counteract your listed price. But in reality, every customer is allowed only one bottle per month. Next month, they can seek another new taste. Even members have to wait in line. So outsiders can't get in. They only get more curious about how good your liquor is. The demand keeps growing in your hands. You can set the price however you want. Manager Chin. Can you look into something for me? What is it? Among several old Fucheng merchants. Is anyone stockpiling my goods? Zhou Heng has at least 30 bottles of Chongzhang Yuye, all bought in batches using different membership cards, taken away in several rounds. He doesn't drink or resell them, just keeping them in his back office. Interesting. Let him stock up, let him stock up. The more he stockpiles, the fewer my goods circulate in Fucheng. The less circulation, the more urgent the outsiders become. That restriction from Magistrate Fang is worth more. Scholar Su. You're not a businessman. You're a chess player. Zhou Heng broke cups in the secret room yesterday. A herbalist guild member in Fucheng. He supplies Zhou's silk shop with medicinal ingredients. Yesterday, while collecting his payment at Zhou's office, he heard porcelain smashing from inside. There was also a hushed argument. He couldn't catch the details of the quarrel. But when he left, he glanced at the office door and saw an account book thrown on the floor. There was a line written on it, circled twice in red ink. Zhou family's monthly silk sales didn't drop. But the investment in Chongzhang Yuye blocked up their cash flow. It used capital needed for the silk business. Main business cash turnover is now problematic. Zhou Heng is not the same as his cousin Zhou Duang. Zhou Duang started from nothing, built his wealth with fists and fake books. Zhou Heng once passed the scholar's exam, didn't pass the provincial classics, but studied as much as you did. He's patient and good at math. If you hadn't forced him to show a deficit, he wouldn't have smashed cups. Colleague recommendations. Mention the Fucheng merchant brand, the new Chongzhang Yuye. Everyone wants to use it for entertaining guests. Ghost news, your brand true brother Dij. Right now, the government is encouraging merchants to report newly invented goods around the country. If they can be compiled and made public, it will bring honor to our city. What do you make of Magistrate Fang's letter? Tribute with 2 sticks. Someone is blocking it. The Treasure Pavilion is blocking Fucheng's tribute of rare goods to the dynasty, promoting the showcase window. The showcase is his model. The frame can't just be dismantled. The letter was also copied to Magistrate's son. Magistrate Feng isn't just stating his own view. He's backing them all the way up to the county office level. If Zhou Heng wants to make a move, he must weigh both city and county offices. Manager Chin, help me pass a message to Zhou Heng. What's the message? The 30 bottles of Shongjiang Yuye he's stockpiling. If he doesn't sell them within 3 months, the liquor will spoil. Is that true or false? True. Shongjiang Yuye is high-proof baijiu. When stored in porcelain bottles for too long, the beeswax seal on the bottle reacts with alcohol, creating faint cloudiness. Most of the fruit aroma disappears when drinking. Personally tested in Duanren Sauce's backyard. I never told anyone. Even Duanren Sauce doesn't know. Then he should thank you. No need. He hates me to the core. Whatever I say, he'll think the worst. The more honest I am, the more he thinks I'm tricking him. The less he believes, the longer he'll drag things out. The more cash gets tied up. When his cash gets completely locked by inventory, if the silk procurement money chain breaks, he'll either dump the liquor at a loss, or come talk to me. Whichever path he chooses, I have the advantage. Scholar Sue, I've been in medicinal trade for 30 years. Met countless colleagues. No one else is so skilled in both craftsmanship and human nature. What a shame you're from Qingyu village. If you were born in a big city, you wouldn't just be playing chess with Zhou Heng now. Only by being born in Qingyu village did you find that well? Lighter 120 boxes of embroidery needles remaining. Inventory is low. Chongjiang Yuye has triggered purchase limits. Manager, this rain won't stop anytime soon. Manager, there's someone over there. Can we take shelter here? How long have you had the injury? 4 days, it hasn't been treated. Yes, it has. Applied the wound medicine twice. It didn't help. It'll hurt a bit. Try to endure. Take the remaining 2 pills. 1 every morning and night. Finish them all. Chew and swallow. Take another 2 pills 4 hours later. I'll have the attendant bring you water. You're a doctor, right? My surname is Xiao. I'll come thank you another day. Suji, Treasure Pavilion branch in Fucheng. Manager, that person's waist jade plaque? I feel like I've seen it before. Where? Last autumn, a government agent came to town to collect grain. The badge on his waist looked almost the same. But that guy was a minor figure. This one must be something else. Patrol the area more often at night these days. If any unfamiliar faces approach the warehouse, report to me immediately. A guest is looking for Manager Sue. Sue, manager. It's Zhao's goods inside. A bit tidier than last time? Have a seat out back. What kind of tea is this? rock candy tea, homemade sugar. Where is the sugar? Almost impossible to notice. It melted into the tea. Manager Sue, I came to thank you today. If it hadn't been for you that day, I'd have died in the northern suburb. How's the wound? Crusted, no pus. No fever. The veteran doctor with me examined your bandaging. He stared at the wound for ages without comment, then asked what medicine I used. I said I had no idea. It was applied by a shop manager. He didn't believe me. Insisted on coming here to see the old doctor. Waiting outside. He felt awkward entering directly. That injury wasn't from a fall. 3 days ago, a hit like that only comes from someone trained, not ordinary street thugs. When you drew your blade in the alley, those guys had already dispersed. We chased them near the temple and lost the trail. They aren't criminals, nor street thugs. You're after more than those 6 people. Also, whoever sold your followers' movements to them. Brother Zhao, you didn't come just to thank me today, did you? I want to ask you something. Where do you get your medicines? My father used to work at Wending Pavilion in the capital. After a fire, he was sent to clear debris.
He picked up a few pages of diagrams from the ashes.
One was a medicinal formula chart. Father couldn't read, but had a great memory. He tried making the medicines several times from the diagrams. Passed the recipe to me before he died. The matter with Lord Zhao the other day. It wasn't Lord Zhao. It was you, Brother Zhao, who saved my life. I really don't want to talk in official jargon with you. Manager Sue, in your shop, do you have a liquor that people will remember me for? We have the jade nectar. There's only 1 jar left from the first batch. Just a moment. Qin Zhengyuan. That's right, Qin Zhengyuan was my father's old subordinate. He served as an army doctor in Liaodong years ago. People he would handle the burial for. There are no more than 3 people in this city. Manager Sue, 10 bottles of jade nectar at the city's market price. Don't refuse. Sending 10 bottles counts as business. This rule has to be followed. The liquor is stacked in the backyard. Let a staff member help you move it. Commander Han's birthday banquet. Inner Treasury No. 1. I opened it on the spot. After the first round of drinks, all the officers started asking where the wine came from. I said Jinbao Pavilion. Brewed by Manager Sue. Last time I was attacked in the northern suburbs. It was also Manager Sue who saved my life. Commander Han asked how I was saved. I said I used a kind of ointment. Swelling was gone in 3 days. Scabbed in 5 days. The old doctor with us looked at the wound, stared at it for a while and said nothing. Said he would meet me another day. When did he say that? After the banquet broke up. He repeated it before leaving. About the warehouse in the northern suburbs. I mentioned to Commander Han that the trade routes weren't safe. There was an intercepted murder case in the county last year. Commander Han didn't say much after listening. Had the Qianqi office draft this order? He ordered the local military officers to set up more patrols. This takes effect today. Manager Sue. About the recent incident, that was my oversight. The carriage line in Beishui town will resume service tomorrow. The backlogged goods will be prioritized for shipment. I've already spoken to Julaosi's side. From now on, the freight charged to you will be by old patron rate, which is 15% lower than current rates. As for the dock in Fucheng, I've also spoken up for you about the case in Zhejiang. Jinji Paper Mill's pulp vat will be loaded onto the boat the day after tomorrow. I've talked to the others as well. There won't be any more roadblocks. I'll give you a personal contact at the cargo office. You'll have a priority dispatch number. There won't be any scheduling issues in the future. Manager Tian, I'll take everything you said, but not for free. I have 3 conditions. First, the carriage line in Beishui Town. Su Trading Company's goods get priority dispatch from now on. But the rate can't be just old patron pricing. I want a long-term contract at 70% of listed price. Second, regarding Zhejiang, I won't just talk to Jinji. Besides Jinji, I need 2 others. Steady supply from Zhifang. I'll negotiate the price with Zhifang directly. No commission for the cargo office. Third and most important, starting today, in the Fucheng cargo office's client list, Hongji General Store is to be top priority supplier. Any goods that Hongji ships, the cargo office can't delay, raise prices, or divert for any reason. I agree to all 3 conditions. But on one thing. In the future, if you hear anything going on in the commander's office, let me know in advance. It'll be good for both of us. Oh. Manager Zhou Jinbao Pavilion is trying out new blades today. They cut through 8 layers of linen in one stroke. The managers from the embroidery workshop who returned needles last week sent someone yesterday to ask again. Can we get embroidery needles from Su Trading Company? I said we have stock. They said they don't want old inventory. They want the new batch, and also mentioned embroidery needles from Su Trading Company are already known as needle kings in the circle. Anything stitched with other needles won't even make the list at the Fucheng Embroidery Fair. Have Tian girl come see me in the secret room tonight. If she tries to make excuses, just tell her. That bag of silver she took last time, Master Bao still holds the stub. Where is Tian girl? She refused to come. I did as you said and mentioned the silver's record. After listening, she tapped her pipe on the ground and said one thing. She said that bag of silver was given by Manager Zhou willingly. She never forced anyone at knife point. The stub is with Manager Zhou. If you want to sue, go ahead. But if you do, afterward every account between Fucheng Cargo Office and Jinji will all be recalculated from scratch by trade rules. One more thing. The day before yesterday, Jinbao Pavilion launched improved paper. I sent someone to buy a few sheets. Take a look. How much is the cost? People from Jinji Paper Mill said. It's half the cost of the best rice paper on the market. Suji improved the paper pulp formula, blending both short and long fibers, added a sizing process to prevent bleeding. For calendaring, they didn't use the old 10-year method. Used a newly designed drum instead. According to the people at Jinji, Suji drew them a process flow chart. Every step marked with fiber ratios, sizing amount, calendaring temperature and cycles. Jin Wanquan saw the chart and said, he spent 20 years making paper in mills. But this was the first time he'd ever seen the paper-making process broken down so precisely. That drum is the very one, modified based on Manager Su's drawings. Bring the calendaring machine into the backyard. Don't bump the doorframe. If half of Fukang's paper mills all make paper to our technical standard, each one's royalty income alone will be 3 times the profit from selling paper. And selling paper creates inventory pledging issues. But royalties don't require inventory. As soon as each sheet is made and shipped as a finished product, we'll collect a percentage by volume. Once the licensing standard is in place, even if Zhou Heng keeps all his current textile clients, he won't be able to stop all the mill owners from lining up for licensing agreements. Repeat that for me. Brother, where did you get these paper-making drawings? My father once saw a few pages from Wenying Pavilion's ashes. He drew the paper-making process from memory. Later, I referenced fragments of the Tiangong Kaiwu and completed some parts. You don't believe me. I trust you, everything you say. But every time you answer like this, your left ear turns red. If 12 Fucheng paper mills work at 70% capacity, 9 sign the contract. Each ships an average of 20,000 sheets a month, even half the licensing revenue. Brother, look for yourself. That number is more than 3 months of fire starter sales. The western trade route is blocked. What's out west? Large cotton fields. It's the main raw material sourcing place for Zhouji textiles. Every cotton harvest season, Manager Zhou personally visits the rolling mill. Today is test run. No matter how Zhou Heng arranges things on the cotton fields, our paper-making license in Fujian must be finalized before he returns. Lao Qian. How much working capital do we have left? No issues with the textile business. If we buy Boss Fang's cotton yarn batch at current prices, without pushing them down, our funds are enough. The problem is our inventory of jade nectar. Part of the last batch of wine you bought has already turned bad. The few jars left, we've checked them. All the cork beeswax has melted. The alcohol flavor has faded by half. This entire batch of liquor will be sold at a discounted price. We can recover less than 30% of the costs. 30%. Less than 30%. The Tianya driver stopped the vehicle. No one is willing to handle transporting Ma Xing's batch of liquor. It's been stuck for too long. Even if someone is willing to buy now, the liquor that's shipped out, after a few days of bumping along the road, we're still worried it might have issues. In addition, Jinji Paper Mill has joined 5 other paper mills and signed a 1-year pulp procurement agreement. The few paper mills we talked to before have signed the authorization agreement. Not only will they stop buying paper from us, they also transferred the ordered pulp all over to Su Merchant House. Old Qian, leave us for a moment. What else can we do now? Master, following the old ancestors' advice, it's best not to confront Su Merchant House head-on for now. The silk business is still profitable. As long as we secure Boss Fang's yarn supply, we can still maintain about half our market share in silks. The planned losses for Zhejiang and Chongjian are large, but it's not fatal. Rather than keep clashing head-on with Suji, it's better to secure our main silk business and wait for the right time to make a move. A few business acquaintances in the city have privately advised me. They suggest our master might as well talk to Suji. They said that Manager Su is a man who holds grudges, but it was clearly Manager Qian's fault. He only went after one person. He still gives Tunjuan cloth store leeway. If our master takes the initiative to reconcile with him, maybe Yanji can keep some old clients. Old Qian, tomorrow, go to Treasure Pavilion and talk to Manager Su. About what? Tell him Mi Ji Silk Store is willing to buy embroidery needles, long-term from Su Merchant House at market price. and will stop producing themselves. Also, Mr. Zhou wants to donate a name for the school plaque in Qingnu village. Ask if that's acceptable. Is Manager Su here? Manager Su, I'm here on behalf of Manager Zhou to discuss two matters with you. First, Jinji Silk Store is willing to buy embroidery needles, long-term from Su Merchant House at the market price, and will no longer produce their own. Second, Manager Zhou wants to donate a name for the school plaque, located in Qingnu village. The donation money for the school has been prepared. We want to ask for Manager Su's opinion. Please tell Manager Zhou. If Zhou's Silk Store is willing to buy embroidery needles long-term, we can supply them. The market price remains the same. As for the rules for listing donor names on the school plaque, that was set by Magistrate Sun. Any local merchant can have their name listed as long as the donation amount meets the quota. That's all it takes. There's no need for my approval. Manager Zhou, just send the money to Scholar Zhao in Qingyu village. Have it registered and follow the rules. Little sister, check something for me. Pull up Zhou's Silk Store's recent raw material procurement records. This month, Zhou's purchased 10% more cotton yarn from the western cotton fields than usual. It doesn't look like their business is bad.
He's using the peace talks as a cover
To claw back his losses bit by bit. What he's protecting isn't business. It's social reputation that's his moat. A school donation can wipe his record of colluding with bandits. Let Governor Feng change his view of him. And if I refuse him the plaque naming, it makes me look petty. But he didn't anticipate my next move. Yahang's transportation records. They go back years. Tanya has a ledger of previous transactions with Zhou's Silk Store. Parts of the deals listed in there weren't all legitimate. If I were to dig it out, it may not count as a crime, but it's enough to be used as evidence. In an anonymous tip-off if Zhou Heng tries to seek imperial merchant status. Where's that ledger? Tanya says he doesn't have that ledger. But if necessary, he can cooperate. He also said that Zhu Laosi from today will stop taking any new orders from Zhou for those already accepted. He'll find a way to delay. This is also an internal logistics adjustment, not benefiting anyone in particular. Yesterday, Zhou Heng sent Tanya a box of pastries. They were returned. Master Fang asked me to deliver a message. The letter of recommendation is being rushed to the capital post-haste. It won't go through the county government on the way, so it can't be intercepted. After it arrives in the capital, the Imperial Board will process it via new invention review procedures. That's not anything special, so it won't attract attention. Master Fang also wants you to check every line of the submission. If you think anything isn't appropriate, it's still not too late to amend. There's nothing inappropriate. Good. One more thing. Master Fang privately asked me to tell you. It may take a little time for a reply from the capital. Once approval comes, the county office will notify you right away. And Master Fang also said, once you are officially recognized as an imperial merchant, more people will scrutinize your supply sources. So before the approval arrives, you'd better hide whatever needs to be hidden. Not hiding goods, hiding your roots. From now on, goods from Qingyu village to the capital will be delivered according to fixed truck schedules. Every transfer Before departure, record the truck departure time and registration number at the village entrance. After being checked by Sister Sue, send a copy with someone to the city. I'll hand it to the warehouse guard at the north suburbs to verify receipts. If the time and registration number don't match, the warehouse stays locked.
Okay.
How will you send the messages? Sister Sue hired a literate kid in Qingnu village to copy out dispatch records. He copies one each time a truck leaves and gives it to the returning driver to bring back. On the city end, the warehouse guard put a wooden box at the door. After the driver unloads, he drops in the copied sheet. It's checked every morning. It's a clumsy method, but the more low-tech, the harder it is for Yahang people to interfere. That's true. Scholar Sue, what's the matter? Old Lu, how many regular clients do you have in Beshui town? 6 or 7. They're all managers of hardware and general stores. They've been buying needles from me for over 10 years. Help me set up a carrier pigeon relay in Beishui town. No need for many, just 3 pigeons and a cage. Whenever Beishui town has a shipment headed to the capital, have the hardware store manager write a note. List the shipment volume, date, transporter's name. Tie it to the pigeon's leg and let it go? Got it. At the north suburbs warehouse, I'll have the warehouse guard receive the pigeons. After taking off the note, feed the pigeon, then send it back. Why do you want pigeons? To guard against bandits. The bandits came once. They won't come again. What I'm guarding against is something else. Someone's been falsifying the records, either from Qingyu village, via Beshui relay to the city warehouse. No matter where the issue is on this route, I need to know the same day. Relying on people to relay messages is too slow. Quick, get the pigeon cage ready, I'll handle it. The owner of the iron shop in Beishui town. I'll go contact him. Brother, can this pigeon line really deliver the shipment info back the same day? Yes, pigeons are faster than people. They're not under the guild's control. No need to wait for transport. They don't go through anyone's ledger. They fly from Beishui town to the northern suburbs. Fastest is just 1 hour. From now on, wherever our goods go, you'll have a clear overview. If anything happens in the prefecture city, you can respond immediately same day. That's called taking the initiative. Brother, will Zhou Heng really let this go? His most important task now is to protect the silk business. He's no longer interested in confronting us head-on. But in the Zhou family's dictionary, letting things go isn't a phrase. They'll appear to be impressed. But at some unexpected moment, they'll come at you from the side. We need to spread our eyes and ears across the whole city before they strike. Once every route has someone watching, every shipment is tracked, and every pigeon lands on time. Even if Zhou Heng wants to bite, he won't find a weak spot. The imperial approval has come down. The Ministry of Revenue's official paper arrived at the prefecture office this morning. The wagon is already on the road. It'll get here tonight or early tomorrow. Little sister, keep an eye on the store. If anyone asks, say I went into town for business. I'll be back in 3 days. Watch over Beishui town's pigeon station. Keep a close eye. If you don't receive pigeon messages for 2 days in a row, immediately send someone to check Hongni Slope. Take Magistrate Fang with you. If there's any trouble over there, have someone bring the sign back. I'll have Lu Dazui go to the governor's office. Go through the inspection bureau of the Ministry of Works. Come take a look. All the listed items are expertly crafted. They benefit the people. Permission granted to be included on the Imperial Merchant Tribute List. Samples must be submitted every quarter to the Ministry of Works Inspection Bureau for record. Note: This every quarter isn't yearly. It's every season. Previously, the imperial tribute list was sent once a year. This time, the ministry suddenly changed it to quarterly submissions. It's not targeting you. As per messages from my colleagues in the capital, the Inspection Bureau of the Ministry of Works got a new director this year. This person is a technical official by background. He keeps a close watch on special devices from all over the country. Not just your business. A few major merchants from the south had to change too. But those big companies have connections and roots in the capital. Quarterly sample submission is just an extra trip to the capital for them. You're different. Your goods have traveled from Qingyu village to the prefecture city for years. Every step was paved by yourself. The capital is different. You have to make your own way from scratch. And you'll have to do that every 3 months. My suggestion: find a reliable agent in the capital. Let them handle Ministry of Works paperwork and inspections for you. This person must be a local, familiar with all the rules of the Ministry of Works office, and can't have any connection with any competing merchant. You can't use prefecture city methods in the capital. There are spies everywhere in the capital. Every move you make is watched. Pick the right people, and keep quiet. When Magistrate Feng announces the sample inspection, the key focus is on materials. That's crucial. When the samples are announced, what matters most isn't the samples themselves. It's whether your process fits the regulations. As far as I know, the Inspection Bureau recently investigated a batch of yellow label merchants who used banned or questionable materials, or items of unknown origin. Several companies among them were flagged for the materials marked on their diagrams, which couldn't be traced to the source, and had their qualifications suspended. That excuse from Wangxin Pavilion works for the prefecture city. But the capital is too close to the royal city. Any diagram set could be reviewed and archived by officials. You'd better organize your diagrams before submitting. Make sure every procedure has a valid background. I need to make a trip to Qingyu village and bring a few things stored there. Then head straight to the capital. The situation there is much more complicated than in the prefecture city. The imperial approval will protect you for a while, but not forever. The waters of the royal city run deep. Even a prefect like me can only look from the shore. Magistrate Feng wanted me to remind you of one more thing. The new director of the Ministry of Works is named Jiyu. Single character Heng. Heng as in persistent.
He was promoted from the Yuyuan Bureau in the Ministry of Works.
Youngest 5th-ranked technical official in this dynasty. Just transferred to the Tea Banquet Bureau this spring. His first act as director was to change all imperial tributes, from annual reports to quarterly submissions. He's quite famous. Magistrate Feng says. He might be your mentor. Or your gravedigger. All depends if you can win his trust. 3 things about your Wenying Pavilion diagram process. First, pack up Qingyu village. All miscounted modern textbooks kept by the distillery. Put them all in wooden boxes. Wrap 3 layers of oilcloth and lock them up. Have Lu Dazui personally escort them to the prefecture city. The leftover stock, Lu Dazui sends Monkey directly to deliver it to the prefecture city. Store it in the deepest part of the warehouse. In case capital orders suddenly double. How long will this trip take? Not sure. Maybe a month. Maybe 3. But I'll try to return every full moon. I'll come back whenever possible on the full moon. Manager Chin, move the improved paper samples from the northern suburb warehouse, all to the new western warehouse within 3 days. Use axe head for all order numbers. Leave a swap list with the old warehouse keeper. Those are 2 new cylinder calendars. Just installed by Old Lou's economic paper mill. Put the trial run on hold. Wait for me to return from the capital to start. So, when are we setting out? Tomorrow morning. We'll take a boat from the northern suburb dock. Follow the canal up to the capital. After I leave, daily operations of Treasure Pavilion are handed over to Su Xiaomei. She handles account verification. She keeps the warehouse keys. If disputed, Manager Chin will work it out with her. If they can't agree, send me a pigeon message. Should we check out the capital first? No need. I need to walk the capital myself to feel secure. While I'm not in the prefecture city, two people need your special attention. One is Zhou Heng. He's asked for peace, but his family won't let things go. The other is Feng Wanchang from Tongjuan Cloth Shop. If either business makes a move, don't wait for me. Manager Chin should discuss countermeasures directly with Zhao Wenqing. Also, if there's an emergency, use this contact method. Write a bamboo and an address on the note. When you're there, just say I sent you. Say nothing else. That person will pass the message to me. Take care of yourself. We've got things covered in the prefecture city. I reinforced the pigeon cage last night. The iron shop owner in Bishui town replied yesterday. He said he can add 2 more cages anytime. These books shouldn't stay in the prefecture city any longer. I know. That's why I had Lu Desui move them to the western suburb warehouse. Hide them in the deepest part of the new warehouse. Have Lu Desui go to the northern suburb warehouse. Sell off all the goods stored there for cash. Turn them into silver and deposit it in Manager Chin's herbal shop account. That'll be enough for you and Mother for a long time. 3 months.